This is Monique. Let me see. I think I've watched the videos. Oh, thanks, sweetheart. Anyway, my mom, Robin, age 67, symptoms: hypothyroidism, sinus issues, wakes up during the night, fatigue, bowel movement once a day, low platelet count, anemia, forgetful, but doesn't think so. Had a hip replacement, age 63. All right, she's on thyroxine and was moved to Armor Thyroid. Well, both of these, Armor's a natural T4, and thyroxine's a natural is a synthetic T3. The problem with that, though, again, thyroxine, she was right on thyroxine, so she was on a synthetic T4. It's enough to say that all tissue, including the thyroid, is just a bunch of cells. Now, these cells get their memory patterns from the family. There's no question about that. And if you understand that consciousness or intelligence invades everything, remember, God is omnipresent, omniscient. There is no place it isn't. There is nothing that is unaware, that is unintelligent. It's just that we don't understand that yet. And quantum physics is getting us closer and closer to understanding that magnetic energy has intelligence, meaning that the dark spaces, all life has intelligence. Dark matter, all these things. We are beginning to understand that there is an intelligent driver that drives all things, including cells. And this intelligence can be augmented in creation with the polarization of duality. And we've learned that with the cells, and that chemistry affects magnetics. And looking at it from the most mundane level, chemistry affects magnetics, it affects consciousness and intelligence. And you can look at it the other way around. That energetics, that frequencies limit consciousness, and then chemistry limits frequencies. And it just goes on and on and on both ways this way. So in an understanding that, you can understand that eating cooked dead foods and high proteins acidify the body, which polarizes and takes away consciousness, that lowers consciousness and functionability of a cell. Well, also the swelling that acidosis brings, the mucus from the mucosa that acidosis brings, is highly suppressive to the function of tissue, whether it's the thyroid, parathyroid, pituitary, adrenals, bladder, kidneys, prostates. It doesn't matter. All tissue has the same issue anywhere you go. That's the simplistic of this whole thing that has evaded man's intellectualism. So in understanding that, you have to go in her body and start working on it. What's a connecting link to show you that the lymphatic system in her isn't working? She lost her hip. And on that side, whichever side that is, that's the worst kidney that she has. The kidneys filters the lymph system. Remember that. Right side, right kidney, left side, left kidney. So bye-bye right hip, bye-bye right kidney. So this is why you need to get the kidneys and the adrenals up and get this filtration. You can use the glandulars to inspire. I would much rather see medical doctors get involved in glandulars instead of getting people stuck on hormones and steroids. Because we know the fatal issue that brings. The continual shutdown. And then, of course, the thyroid produces calcitonin, and you're not on that. And then, is it a TSH problem? Is it a pituitary problem affecting the thyroid? So work with the gland tonic that we have. You can work with the thyroid tinctures, or you can get thyroid glandulars. That's better to work with that and get that thyroid up and get away from these hormones. At the same time, fix your body, get these cells healthy, because she's got some problems here. Sinus issues, well, that gives you a thought of maybe pituitary influence on the thyroid, because when your sinus is backed up, what is impacted? Pineal gland. Pituitary, well, she can't sleep. Pineal gland. And you can use a glandular, but at the same time, you want to detox. She's got forgetfulness. She's starting to move toward dementia and Alzheimer's. So when you start moving in these directions, you know what's causing this. Is this a disease affecting me? Oh, it affects all the older people. It's all based on acidosis and your inability or ability to move lymph and to keep inflammation, which is simply acidosis, out of these tissues. It's that simple. And in rebuilding this, it's just the opposite. You get your body filtering lymphatically, and you impress and empower cells to raise up out of their genetic slumber, their genetic thinking, into a higher level of consciousness, because they have the same issue each and every one of us do. Everything here has all these different levels we've taught you, and we teach you in level 1. Understanding how creation is put together, to me, is vital for you practitioners, and understanding how and why these tissues are affected in this way. Low platelet account. Well, I'd get in and detox the spleen, but I have a feeling her colon's involved. If the sinuses are so impacted, you've got to clean up this whole GI tract. Remember the trunk of the tree here, and get those kidneys filtering and get these sinuses drained. You know, you can use 3-lung tea to get the sinuses moving. You can chew on a little horseradish root, not too much. You know, you can do all kinds of things. Neti pot, all kinds of things to do that. But getting your kidneys filtering is really key, essential. Go with the spleen formula. Work on the spleen. If you consider she's got low white blood cells, you might want to get into her bone marrow. But what breaks down bone marrow? What breaks down these tissues? And you're always going to find acids do, and that's of the lymphatic system. Acids are dealt with lymphatically. Blood is more base chemistry. Anemia, same thing. Get those adrenals up so she can start metabolizing iron better. That sort of thing. She has 8 mercury fillings in the process of removing them. Perfect. Has 4 dead teeth and 1 root canal. Again, this is all lymphatics chewing up her gums and teeth here. Had tonsils out as a child, so it shows you automatically when you have your tonsils out, your lymphatic system's backed up, and she's been backed up since she was a child. But in all fairness, most people put you on formulas or milk, and not mama's milk at that. And the mamas that are nursing, they're generally having crappy diets, except you beautiful people that understand the raw foods. So you have to look at all this and why these babies are so much in trouble now. She is blood group B+, which I don't care. Her brother, who died age 58 of leukemia, look at there. You know what? And that, I want to think of the leukemia and go back to the platelets here. You want to take a look at that spleen and build her spleen up a little bit. Get these platelets up. And if you have to, get on a bone marrow formula. We got a bone marrow formula here, and start working on her bone marrow as well. At the same time, go to causative factors. Go into the lymphatic system and work on that. She's a gene mutation, pyola, all these sort of things that leak zinc, blah, 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 blah. You know, I wouldn't even think of that. Eat small amounts of yogurt and milk and black tea. Get rid of that, or she'll never get rid of the sinus. A blood specialist has encouraged her to eat red meat for iron levels. Metabolize iron. Get your iron from your foods and metabolize iron. If you have to do some green drinks of parsley, dandelion greens, spinach. You can, doing liver formulas are full. All the barbarous herbs like the Oregon grapefruit, the burdock, all these are full. Yellow dock, all full of iron. There's organic iron supplements that are the yellow docks and the burdocks, etc., etc. But you've got to metabolize iron, and that comes out of the adrenal glands again. Clean up her liver, clean up her spleen. But all this is indicative of the lymphatic system backed up all through her bowels. She probably has malabsorption and backed up in all these tissues. So you just want to open her up, open all the doors, and eliminate. It's like a Brianna here. Brianna, she's backed up all the way up. Yeah, there you go. So I think that it beats. Sweetheart, just go after your mom. Let her view this video, because there's no other way to find your wellness out there. And this is the simplest, most direct way. Yes, it requires a changing of attitude and viewpoint. But you must do that. For those that are new, you must change your viewpoint on health and wellness. Get excited about a diet of fruits, berries, and melons, because that's where all your flavors are. If your kitchen is full, like mine, of fruits, berries, and melons and vegetables, the smell is incredible. That's where your good smell and taste comes from. I have to say, I like a big juicy salad. And I like how it tastes. Although the greens, I rarely use on salads. I like all my carrots, my cucumbers, my avocados, my tomatoes. I love all that. My peppers, I love all that. Good stuff. But In a detoxification scenario, that might hold you back a little bit. Just remember that. For those just starting, no. But as you get down the line, if you have deep tissue toxemia, you're going to have to sometime leave them off and just head straightly for the fruits. And just keep working yourself deeper in that way. No one says you have to live that way forever, but you certainly need to get that way to get deep into the body, or there's no getting deep into the body unless you do some water fasting. Bartholomew, thanks so much for all your advice. Thank you, welcome, my friend. After a few months on watermelon and herbs, our pup's tumor disappeared. Good job. Yeah, your pup had watermelon, huh? Interesting. We are so happy. Oh, thanks to you, man. Good job. And there's another case where these guys just detoxified their dog, got the tumor out of their dog. And it's true with people as well. It's not difficult to understand why animals and man suffers. And you just have to take that medical thinking and set it way over there to the side. There's very good points to medical work, surgeries and some things like this, but all in all, guys, they can help us stabilize in hospitals, but emergency medicine, which can really grow with naturopathic thinking, and surgeries, and understanding dietary relationships to all this, the need for surgeries, and then post-surgeries, all this tied together can be an incredible force on this planet. But we have to drop most pharmaceutical thinking. Well, how are you going to drop the insane rich who control all this? Look at how they control the FDA. I'd be ashamed if I was the FDA to have pharmaceutical companies control the thinking of this. I mean, look at this Obamacare in this country. I don't know, but there should be a major lawsuit against the government for creating a monopoly. This one guy that took his boy and trying to save his boy, the child services want to charge him with child neglect. And I think the guy should charge the state of California for deprivation of rights and creating a monopoly out of the medical profession, because other health modalities shows far less hurt. So far, I mean, how can you compare this? Last year, 1 million deaths allopathically. Last year, no deaths homeopathically and no deaths naturopathically. How do you compare those statistics and then tell people they need to take their children to allopathic care? I don't know how you qualify that. How do you, in a court of law, prove that to a jury that's the best way to go? How do you do that? And I think these states need to be sued by these parents who've lost their children, or their children are getting chemo and stuff. My God. Sorry for that, but it's just we're in a sad state on this planet. We're de-evolving. It's like historically we can't get out of that. We have to break the mind a little bit and grow and bring the consciousness up a little bit. But maybe the planet needs to work off karma at these levels.